I think first thing as a designer is that it's by no means an easy field to get into. It's I think it's a field that requires a lot of perseverance, because there are a lot of people, especially nowadays. I think everything from all creative fields are highly popular, from music to design, art, graphics, like dance. It's just, this is the way I think now in our time in 2015, I think a lot of young kids feel this is the most popular and exciting way for them to express themselves and build a career, right? So the competition is higher than ever. So I would say number one, first, look inside yourself and ask yourself, is this truly what you enjoy doing? Because there are going to be dark times where you're frustrated, and you may not be enjoying the projects that you may be working on, but your love for what you do will sort of carry you through your time. So what I would say is that first, judge your skill set. Judge, like I was telling you, when I was a kid, your creative process. Are you a creative person? Are you someone that can look at an object and see, like, just as a quick instinct, like ways to just improve it? Does your mind think that way? Does your mind, do you have a problem-solving mind? Are you someone that finds creative, out-of-the-box ways of making something better? I think you almost have to kind of identify that early on in before you even enter. Do you have that inclination? Don't get me wrong, it doesn't have to be extremely developed or extremely refined, but you have to have that instinct, I think, as first. So I think first, self-assessment, asking yourself, do I have the right internal engine, to become a designer? That's number one. Are you ambitious? Are you, like I said, are you someone who's eager and determined? Because I think that's something, in design school, a lot of people drop out, after their, second, third year, because they think it's all about just going in, designing cool stuff. And no, there's a huge thought process. Like I said, it's not art, it's design. You have a responsibility. I think the next step is obviously inform yourself as much as you can. Like I said, nowadays you have design forums, everything from, depending on the field of design that you want to go into, Core 77. I mean, there's a list of sites that I can, where it's just a great design community where you have everything from job postings to projects postings where people expose their designs and the thinking behind their designs, and they expose their whole design process. So you can visually see what it's like and how to develop a product, from scratch. So you can really do a lot of self-education just by going on a lot of these sites, Car Design News, Coroflot. I mean, nowadays there's tons of design. So I think exposing yourself to that world and learning, early on what the design process is, and what is it to create intelligent design and not just, aesthetic, kind of what you see on the surface. I mean, that's only one portion to what design is. So I think that's really, really important. And then obviously informing yourself about design programs. Again, a lot of these forums expose schools and design programs. And I think finding out, design is a big word, right? I mean, there's different niches of design, like there's graphics, there's product, there's fashion, there's automotive, there's interaction design, UI design, there's exhibition design. I mean, there's a lot. So then identifying, is there a particular industry, footwear design, is there a particular industry that you gravitate towards too? Because I think that'll make your journey that much easier. If there's is there a specific type of product that you enjoy, are you someone who's detail oriented, for example? Then maybe something in the world of cameras, or are you a problem solver? I think you have to identify what your natural inclinations are, or what kind of products are you into just naturally every day. Like, what do you gravitate towards? What do you like? Are you into kicks? Are you a shoe collector? Then in that case, then maybe, footwear design is something that you should explore. Maybe that's your natural, comfort zone. And that's what I would recommend. Like, as a designer, pick something that you naturally love and enjoy to design, and that you just naturally gravitate towards or into, So, are you into video games? Then maybe video game design is kind of your world, you know? So I think the most important is self-assessment, internal understanding what you're into, you know, and kind of jotting those things down. And then from there, like I said, you know, going online and just kind of Googling and discovering, you know, specific sites. Because nowadays, there are specific sites for every type of design discipline. So if you're into footwear, there's Nice Kicks, there's kicks.com, there's Hypebeast. I mean, all these sites expose, you know, like the world of footwear in a really cool way and exciting. And it's all about like, you know, interviewing designers and in the thought process that they went to in creating their product. So you not only see the end product, but you understand the journey and you hear the perspective of the designer that created and what his thought process was and what his inspirations were. And I'll tell you what, if by the end of that you're not like pumped up and that you're not excited, then you have to also rethink maybe design is not for you, because that is what is really supposed to kind of inspire you, you know, and kind of get your juices flowing as a designer. It's just to hear the story and be pumped up by the journey and that person took to get to that product.
Thank you for watching A Wise Way. Subscribe to stay updated, share to pass the knowledge, or view our other videos on the left.